Doobly-doo, doobly-doo, ba-ba-bow. Hey, kids, hey, it's time. It's time for the show. It's time for the Uncle swinging around in the trees show. It's time for the Uncle Big Butt McGee show. That's me. I'm Uncle fucking whatever the fuck you call me, because names are an arbitrary concept that humanity created just so that they could quantify things from one moment to the next, and it doesn't mean that those kind of abstractions actually have any great cosmic significance. So I don't really care what you call this show, and I don't really care what you call me. Anyway, today on the show, kids, oh man, I talk about lots of things. Sometimes I talk about fucking abstract concepts, and sometimes I talk about current events. Today, kids, I want to talk to you about a current event that I noticed was going on. So if you take a look up at the big board, you'll see that today we're going to talk about the DC layoffs. What am I talking about? I'm talking about DC Comics. Kids, that at the time of this recording, it is August 21st in the year 2020, and last week or so, it was announced that the comic book company DC Comics, they do Superman and Batman, the Justice League. They did Sandman and Preacher through their Vertigo imprint. They've done some of the greatest graphic novels of all time, including things like Watchmen and Dark Knight Returns and V for Vendetta, shit like that. Though they're probably best known to you dumb little kids for their fucking superhero stuff like Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, The Flash, and Aquaman, all those fucking dudes. You could name them till the fucking cows come home. There's probably a fucking cow man out there somewhere. Anyway, they announced that the DC Comics are going to be having massive layoffs, and obviously some of that is connected to the coronavirus has been really bad for things in the year 2020. I know a lot of comic shops have shut down. People haven't been buying comics as much. A lot of people are out of work, so they're not spending as much money on comic books. It's a whole big thing, man. These businesses aren't making money in the way that they used to make money. So there's a degree of it seems like there's a lot of companies that want to do big layoffs, and they can say that it's because of coronavirus. But if you look at these big fucking companies, there's a lot of places they could be like, oh, fucking I noticed the dudes, the predominantly white men at the tops of these companies, they seem to still be getting their bonuses, and they seem to still be living their good lives. And it's just that you're paying less people down at the bottom. That's a grand sweeping generalization, and those don't benefit anybody. But my point is, It's a little freaky to see DC Comics being gutted a little bit, not having. See, the thing about comic books, I love comic books. I fucking love comic books. The thing about comic books is comic books are cheap to make. That's one of the fucking most appealing things about comic books, man. You don't fucking need a team of people. You don't need fucking shit, man. You need a paper and a pencil and some talent and a photocopier, and hopefully a means of distribution and publicity. But to actually make the fucking comic, we're not making fucking Michael Bay movies here. We're not fucking blowing cars up and fucking hiring in actors. It's not like cartoons where you gotta fucking pay all these people to animate every fucking second of what's going on. A comic book is one of the most simple forms of storytelling that isn't just prose, that isn't just fucking words on a page. And sometimes it is just words on a page and there'll be a picture next to it, and I'm like, this isn't a fucking comic book. Comic book has little fucking speech balloons and shit. But the thing about a comic book is it's gonna be a lot of different things. I don't want to get into the definition of what a comic book is here, but the whole fucking thing about comic books is they have so much potential. You can fucking do whatever you want with a comic book. You can do crazy things, but it seems like these fucking Marvel and DC fucking both got bought out by much larger companies. They're just fucking little comic book publishing. They own their little fucking characters, they do, and fucking whatever, man. But one of the biggest problems with what's going on right now is that they're doing this whole thing where if a comic book isn't profitable, then they don't want to publish it anymore. And from a business standpoint, that makes sense. From an artistic standpoint, some really great projects take time to be figured out. It takes time for people to discover them. Not every fucking incredibly great story. Again, your Watchmens, your Sandmans, your Preachers, your things that defied and defined what a comic book could possibly be, especially to adult readers. That shit doesn't always just fucking like take off right off the fucking gate. The shit that takes off right off the fucking gate 9 times out of 10 is your bullshit, like fucking, oh boy, it's a new Batman story. In this one, him and the Joker kill each other on every page. Oh man, in this one, you see Batman's bare naked bum. Oh my god. So like, the market doesn't necessarily provide an audience for the material that is actually going to maintain the art form over a longer stretch of time. You know, it's sort of like if you take a kid to the grocery store, he might just eat a whole bunch of fucking candy and fucking potato chips. He's not necessarily going to fucking discover that he loves lasagna, or like a baby isn't gonna fucking cook a hamburger, but that doesn't mean a hamburger isn't a good thing. I might just be hungry. Kids, I guess maybe one of my points is that comics are an art form and not a business, but they have to be a business at the same time. But I guess I thought the whole fucking point is they can be a fucking like fairly easygoing business because there isn't a lot of money at stake. You're not risking too much when you fucking put out a comic. When you think about it, man, like there's people out there getting paid between $100,000 to a fucking $1 million for some shitty movie screenplay. But the people who write comic books, they ain't getting paid that much, man. They're not getting paid that much at all. And sure, a comic book is a monthly thing, so like fucking you gotta look it out over that stretch of time. But the fucking thing is, man, is we're gonna fucking lose out on a lot of really great new ideas if we can't fucking support them, if there can't be a place out for them. And I mean, you know, like fucking DC Comics ain't where those stories are coming from anyways. The best stories are always gonna come from creator-owned publisher, or, you know, publishers that let creators own their own stuff. It's just, it scares me to see a publisher that once put out some of the greatest graphic novels of all fucking time might now just be like, yeah, we do 7 different Batman books, cause that's all that we can manage to sell with the fucking 3 writers and artists that we employ. You gotta fucking employ a diversity of people, and then you can bring in a diversity of audience and grow your fucking audience larger. If you just fucking narrow laser focus in on the handful of goobers who are already fucking reading your books, you're never gonna grow, you're never gonna become something larger, and you're never gonna find all those great fucking challenging works of art that fucking put your company on the map in the first place. You gotta take chances, and you gotta do things that aren't fiscally responsible. Art is not fiscally responsible. It's not fucking economically driven. I understand that's the only reason we're all fucking here. Let's share, like, and subscribe, and please donate to my fucking Patreon, whatever. But at the same time, man, like, there's gotta be something more, or else this company that once, again, employed like some of the greatest artists and writers that have ever worked in this fucking medium, it's just gonna be a fucking catalog where you reproduce the same fucking Batman and Joker stories, and that's fucking all it is, and fucking 2 dudes fucking write them all. It's fucking heartbreaking to think that things could go that way. Anyways, kids, I'm Uncle Slapstick Laser Clown, and this has been me, my episode. I don't know if I fucking got to any point on any of this, but I was thinking about the DC layoffs, and I guess I just wanted to talk about them, so thank you so much for being here with me, kids, and you know, for listening to my various hypocrisies. Have a wonderful day, and be fucking awesome to each other. Goodbye.
Okay, that's all she wrote.